Deep in the dense forests of North America, a creature has eluded human eyes for centuries. Known as Bigfoot or Sasquatch, it is described as a towering, ape-like being, leaving behind enormous footprints and occasional glimpses that ignite both fascination and debate. Reports of this elusive creature date back to the early 19th century, with indigenous tribes across the Pacific Northwest recounting stories of a wild man inhabiting the wilderness. These oral histories describe a creature that moves silently through the trees, rarely seen but profoundly present, a guardian of the forest in their narratives. Over the years, explorers and cryptozoologists have documented thousands of footprints, hair samples, and blurry photographs. Some footprints measure over 18 inches long, with dermal ridges that suggest a living, breathing creature rather than a hoax. Hair and fur samples collected over decades have yielded inconclusive results, occasionally resembling known animals but never matching exactly. Despite modern surveillance, trail cameras, and drone technology, definitive evidence remains elusive. Skeptics argue that sightings are misidentifications of bears or other wildlife, while enthusiasts insist that the consistency of reports across generations cannot be ignored. Bigfoot remains one of the most enduring enigmas of the natural world, a legend caught between folklore and reality. Each footprint and shadow glimpsed in the forest raises more questions than answers, leaving us to wonder, is Sasquatch a hidden resident of the wild, or a symbol of nature's most enduring mysteries, forever just out of reach? In the quiet town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, a creature emerged from the shadows in the mid-1960s, leaving an air of unease that has endured for decades. Known as the Mothman, witnesses describe a humanoid figure with massive wings and glowing red eyes, moving with an otherworldly agility that defies explanation. The first reports appeared in November 1966, when two young couples driving near the TNT area claimed to see a large creature hovering near a power plant. Over the following year, dozens of sightings poured in, describing a figure capable of silent flight, often appearing just before unexplained accidents or tragedies. The most notable was the collapse of the Silver Bridge in December 1967, which claimed 46 lives. Some locals came to fear the Mothman as a harbinger of doom, though no one could definitively explain its origin. Investigators, journalists, and cryptozoologists have examined the reports, collecting eyewitness testimonies and photographs, though evidence remains inconclusive. Some suggest misidentified owls or sandhill cranes, while others argue for a more enigmatic, perhaps supernatural explanation. The Mothman has since become a legend, inspiring books, films, and annual festivals, yet the mystery persists. Every shadowy glimpse or red-eyed reflection in the night fuels speculation, leaving one haunting question: was the Mothman merely a creature of the forests, or a warning from the unseen, always present yet forever beyond reach? Beneath the dark, cold waters of Scotland's Loch Ness, a legend swims silently through centuries of speculation. Known as Nessie, the Loch Ness monster has captured the imagination of explorers, scientists, and locals alike, appearing as a large, serpentine creature glimpsed through mist and waves. Accounts of a mysterious water dweller date back to the 6th century, when Irish monks wrote of a water beast terrorizing the region. Modern sightings surged in the 1930s, following reports of enormous humps and undulating shapes moving beneath the surface. Photographs and sonar readings have tantalized researchers, though many have been inconclusive, controversial, or exposed as hoaxes. Over the decades, expeditions armed with sonar, underwater cameras, and even submarines have scoured the loch, searching for definitive proof. Some sonar contacts suggested large, unknown forms beneath the murky depths, while occasional surface sightings continue to fuel speculation. Biologists and skeptics argue that sightings could be misidentified sturgeon, eels, or floating logs, yet the sheer consistency of reports keeps the mystery alive. Nessie has become more than a creature. It is a symbol of the unknown lurking in places we think we understand. Every ripple, shadow, and sonar blip leaves unanswered questions, hinting at a hidden world beneath the loch's surface. Despite decades of study, Loch Ness guards its secret closely, leaving the world to wonder. Is Nessie a living relic from a prehistoric age, or simply a reflection of our enduring fascination with the unexplained? In the rural landscapes of Puerto Rico during the mid-1990s, a new terror emerged, an enigmatic creature that would come to be known as the Chupacabra. Eyewitnesses described it as a reptilian or canine-like figure, with spines along its back, glowing eyes, and a predatory stealth that left livestock drained of blood. The first reported attacks targeted goats and other farm animals, leaving behind puncture wounds and bloodless carcasses. The phenomenon quickly spread across Latin America and into parts of the southern United States, sparking fear, curiosity, and intense debate. Ranchers, veterinarians, and local authorities documented thousands of incidents, though physical evidence of the creature itself remained scarce. Skeptics suggest the attacks could be attributed to known predators suffering from disease or malnutrition, yet the unusual patterns of these killings, often marked by a precise, almost surgical method, defy easy explanation. Photographs and alleged sightings are frequently blurred or inconsistent, leaving investigators with tantalizing yet inconclusive clues. Chupacabra has evolved into a cultural icon, representing the intersection of folklore, fear, and the unknown. Every report of livestock drained under the cover of night adds to the mystery, challenging scientists and cryptozoologists alike. Despite decades of investigation, the Chupacabra remains elusive, a shadow in the darkness. And so the question endures, is this a creature hiding at the edge of our understanding, or merely a reflection of the fears and imagination of those who claim to see it? High in the remote reaches of the Himalayas, travelers and mountaineers speak in hushed tones of a mysterious figure moving across the snow and ice. Known as the Yeti, or abominable snowman, this elusive creature is described as a towering, ape-like being covered in thick, white or gray fur, leaving footprints that vanish into the frozen wilderness. Legends of the Yeti date back centuries, rooted in the oral traditions of Sherpa communities and Himalayan tribes. They tell of a powerful forest dweller, rarely seen by humans, yet intimately tied to the mountains and their hidden valleys. Western explorers first documented these accounts in the 19th and early 20th centuries, reporting enormous footprints and fleeting sightings that defied explanation. Over the decades, hunters, adventurers, and scientists have searched for evidence, photographs, hair samples, and casts of footprints, but results remain inconclusive. DNA analyses of collected hair often point to bears or other known wildlife, yet some samples have no clear match. Despite modern technology, the Yeti continues to elude verification, maintaining its place between myth and reality. The abominable snowman endures as a symbol of the unknown within one of the world's most inhospitable landscapes. Every shadow across the glaciers, every unexplained footprint in the snow, fuels speculation and wonder. Perhaps the mountains hold their secrets deliberately, leaving humanity to ask, does the Yeti still roam the heights, or does it exist solely in the collective imagination of those who dare to search for it? Deep within the Pine Barrens of southern New Jersey, a creature has haunted the region for over 2 centuries. Known as the Jersey Devil, it is described as a winged, hooved being with a long, pointed tail and glowing eyes, capable of swift and silent flight through the dense forest. The legend traces back to the early 18th century, when local folklore spoke of the cursed 13th child of the Leeds family, transformed into a fearsome creature of the night. Over the years, reported sightings have varied, from footprints and claw marks to eerie cries echoing through the trees. During the 1909 devil sightings, hundreds claimed to have seen the creature, with reports of its shrill screams and shadowy silhouettes spreading widespread panic across towns. Investigators, cryptozoologists, and journalists have attempted to document the phenomenon. Some suggest that misidentified owls, bats, or hoaxes explain the sightings, while others point to the consistency and persistence of reports as evidence that something unusual may lurk in the Pine Barrens. The Jersey Devil has become more than a local legend. It embodies the unknown lurking in America's forests, a reminder that even in familiar landscapes, mysteries endure. Every sudden rustle in the underbrush, every unexplained shadow against the moonlit trees, raises the question anew. Is the Jersey Devil a creature of flesh and blood, or a spectral symbol of fear that refuses to be tamed? Deep within the remote swamps and rivers of the Congo Basin, reports tell of a mysterious creature known as Mokumbembe. Described by local tribes as a living relic of the prehistoric past, it is often compared to a sauropod dinosaur, long-necked, massive-bodied, and moving silently through the dense waters. Stories of Mokumbembe have been passed down for generations, with eyewitnesses describing its immense size, leathery skin, and occasional surfacing in the Congo River and surrounding wetlands. Western explorers first heard of these accounts in the early 20th century, prompting a series of expeditions in search of tangible evidence. Yet despite decades of investigation, no confirmed photographs, specimens, or clear traces have ever been documented. Expeditions equipped with cameras, sonar, and boats have recorded unusual disturbances in the water and occasional ambiguous footprints, fueling speculation. Some scientists propose misidentifications of large aquatic animals, while cryptozoologists argue that Mokumbembe represents a surviving dinosaur, a living ghost of the Mesozoic era. The creature endures as one of the most enigmatic figures in cryptozoology, straddling the line between legend and the unknown. Each reported sighting, every shadow moving beneath the murky waters, reminds us that the world still holds corners unexplored and secrets untold. And so the mystery remains. Does Mokumbembe truly exist, or is it merely a reflection of human fascination with the prehistoric and the unseen? In the quiet neighborhoods of Fresno, California, an unusual phenomenon has captured the attention of both paranormal enthusiasts and skeptical investigators. Known as the Fresno Nightcrawler, this mysterious entity is described as a slender, humanoid figure with long, spindly legs and a seemingly floating gait, often seen gliding silently across suburban lawns. The first widely publicized sighting occurred in 2007, when security camera footage recorded two figures walking in an almost ethereal manner. Since then, multiple reports and videos have surfaced, all depicting similar shapes: white, ghost-like figures moving with an unnatural grace. Despite their strange appearance, the creatures seem entirely passive, leaving no physical traces or signs of aggression. Researchers have attempted to analyze the footage and eyewitness accounts, exploring possibilities ranging from optical illusions and camera artifacts to unknown biological entities. Skeptics argue that the videos may be hoaxes or misidentifications of mundane objects, yet the consistency of shape, movement, and behavior across sightings continues to intrigue observers. The Fresno Nightcrawler represents a modern cryptid, blending the line between urban legend and unexplained reality. Each fleeting glimpse, captured on grainy video or described by a startled witness, adds to the aura of mystery. And so, the Nightcrawler persists, silent, elusive, and just beyond the reach of certainty, prompting one question that remains unanswered: what truly walks in the shadows of our own backyards? In the forests of Louisiana and Missouri, residents have reported sightings of a creature that defies easy explanation. Known as Momo, short for Missouri Monster, it is described as a large, ape-like being, standing over 7 feet tall, covered in dark hair, and moving with surprising agility through the wooded terrain. Reports first gained attention in 1972 when several local families claimed to see a massive, bipedal creature near the Mississippi River. Witnesses consistently described its powerful build, long arms, and an unsettling, almost human-like presence, instilling both fear and curiosity. Over the following months, footprints measuring nearly 14 inches long were documented, and several people reported unsettling encounters at night, though physical evidence remained scarce. Investigators and cryptozoologists have attempted to study the phenomenon, gathering eyewitness testimonies and casting footprints. Skeptics argue that Momo sightings could be misidentified bears or elaborate hoaxes, yet the frequency and consistency of reports suggest an enduring mystery in the region. Momo has since become part of local folklore, a shadowy figure that represents the unknown lurking in familiar landscapes. Every rustle in the trees, every strange silhouette glimpsed in moonlight, reminds us that some mysteries resist explanation. And so, the Missouri monster remains elusive, a living question mark in the heart of America's forests, daring us to decide, is Momo a hidden creature of the wild, or a legend we refuse to let die?